Well, welcome back to the World Bowls Tour's 2019 Scottish International Open, hosted by Live Active at the Dewars Centre here in Perth. And coming up for the rest of this afternoon, we've got loads of games. Well, first game up, we've got Jason Greenslade from Wales versus the Israeli qualifier Daniel Alanim. He has been here before, so it could be an interesting game. He's had experience on the portable rink. And of course, we have some fantastic match officials here as well, so we'll come to those just shortly. But the order of play for the rest of the day, after this game we have two fantastic games to finish your Saturday evening off. We have David Gawley MBE versus the English qualifier Kevin Rands, and Paul Foster MBE versus the English qualifier again. He's from Scotland though, Graham McDougall. As I mentioned, our match officials for this match, we have our marker is Bernie Hill, our umpire is Dan Blewett, and on the shot clock we have a Francis Fletcher. An interesting game coming up. Quite like I mentioned, Daniel has been here before, so he has had experience of the portable rink, and it looks like the players might be ready. So we're going to hand over now to Richard Maddison to introduce your players.
All the way from Israel, bronze men's Atlantic Championship and also a men's Masters champion. Let's give a warm welcome to Daniel Alanim. Ladies and gentlemen, from Wales. He's got several WBT titles to his credit. He's ranked number 15 in the world. It is, of course, the Welsh wizard, Jason Greenslade.
Thank you for those introductions, Richard, and we're in for an interesting game here. Jason has been a previous winner of this tournament. I was talking to him the other day as he was practicing. When he last won this tournament, he was well known for playing with really tight running bowls. More recently he's been playing with a little bit swingier bowls, plays with the Henselite bowl, and he was looking at playing with his Evos today. So it will be very interesting, and Daniel plays with Taylor's bowls, a good Scottish company for an Israeli to play bowls with.
26.5 meters.
As we've said many times today, the game here is 2 sets of 9 ends, and if necessary a 3-end tie-break. We haven't had a tie-break yet today. There's a very good chance in these last remaining games of the day that at least one of them will go to a tie-break. It's very unusual for us to go a full day's play without at least one tie-break. Just overplayed that. It is running very, very quickly out there. Daniel just not got his pace there. Bernie, our marker, removes the bowl that is dead in the ditch. It didn't touch the jack on its true course, so it doesn't stay live, and it's removed. Meanwhile, Jason looks to touch the jack in the true course, so his gets marked with chalk spray. Jason's currently standing at number 12 going into this season, so again he's one of those ones that's in the danger area. He is ranked 15, but with the points taken off for the start of this season, he's dropped. He needs to be trying to pick up as many points as he can.
Two red.
And that's a great start for Jason Greenslade, known as the Welsh wizard. From Penarth in Wales, plays at the Sully Club. many, many titles over the years for Wales, national and international. Again, looks down a good track here. This is a good opening end. Well, Daniel's got to do something about this.
3 red.
Hit this length straight away as Jason. Yeah, Daniel, what's your pace like? Nice wide line that. Forehand swings down very well, but you've got to be perfect weight for it. Now Jason, big opportunity to pick up a full house on the first end. It looks down a very good track again. Oh yes, this is 4 very good bowls at the first end for Jason.
4 shots. Jason Greenslade.
Now Daniel's a landscape gardener from Israel. Plays quite a lot of bowls. Won several titles out there. It is tough, as we've said all day. If you're an overseas qualifier, you're coming to play on a carpet that is unfamiliar to you. And it is running particularly quick. Slightly slower this morning, but it's still running at a good 18 seconds, 17 to 18 seconds. In fact, somebody yesterday timed it quicker than that. It was running near a 19, so it was particularly quick. It obviously seems to be suiting Mr. Greenslade. Well, that's a better bowl from Daniel. If you can just start putting bowls in the head, it starts to give him some chances. Don't forget, we start again with you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock if you've got to go out this afternoon or this evening. Tomorrow morning, 2 cracking games that feature some of the players that are involved in the fight off for the top 16 places. We've got Alex Marshall, MBE, versus Wayne Wilgress, who's just sat at number 17. And then Simon Skelton, who just snuck his way into the top 16, who knocked Andy Thompson out, and he plays him tomorrow morning. So that's really, really interesting stuff for you. Stay with us if you can. We're live with you on World Bowls Tour YouTube and Facebook, and then on Monday from 1 o'clock we also go on to the BBC Sports website, so join us on one of those channels. I'm sure there'll be some great bowls to come as the week goes on. Bernie just having a quick look there to see if it was 1 or 2 red. This looks like it might make the
1 red.
decision for it. All the 4 World Bowls Tour umpires we have here are excellent judges on the rink, and although they're only giving their opinion, we do as players tend to rely on their opinion. And the other two World Bowls Tour officials are Alan Thornhill, who's chief umpy. He's not with us at this tournament, but he'll be with us in January at the Worlds. And Neil Bryce, who also is not with us at this tournament, but will be with us at the Worlds. All are excellent umpires.
2 red.
Well, it was quite a small target to go for there from Daniel. He did miss it. He obviously fancied getting his own ball into the head. Jason just saying, are you all right with 2 shots there? Yeah. 2 shots to Jason Greenslade.
Jack length 26 and a half meters.
Yeah, little look at that bowl from Jason. Told us that he wasn't too happy with it. Daniel might just slip past, but it's not reached the jack, so it's still a good metre or more short. Probably closer to 4 feet. Looks like a good adjustment here from Jason. I always think as a player it's good if you are aware you've played a bad bowl, because it knows that you know there's correction to be had.
One red.
Jason played Chris Chow here from Hong Kong last year, and it went all the way to the tie break in the first round, and then he just lost out to Greg Harlow in the second round on a tie break. And the winner of this game today will play the winner of the next game up, which is David Gawley MB versus Kevin Rands. Jason just needs to slip around that front green bowl. Yep, does it nicely. Another good bowl.
2 red.
Jokingly say to him that he's obviously put his blocker in first with his first bowl, Jason. Don't forget, if you've got any questions for us while we're on the streaming, if you put down on the chat, our director and production team will have a look at some questions, and also let us know if you're viewing from Israel. Perhaps let us know that we've got some viewers out there. Some of Daniel's family might have tuned in. Daniel playing a running bowl here. On target. Well, we got the jack through, but it might just have still gone to Jason's back bowl. Yeah, it looks like the red bowl on the rink has got shot out of this. The green touching bowl in the ditch looks to be further away.
One shot, Jason Greenslade.
So Jason takes a 7-0 lead
7-0
after 3 ends.
Just length 26 and a half metres.
We always say with the top 16 players, if you can get them in the first round before they get comfortable on the carpet, that's the time to play them. But certainly a couple of the top 16 today have set out like they mean in business. It's the first event on the World Bowls Tour calendar, so it's always one that these players like to do well in so that they get themselves good ranking points from it, so that they can relax a bit more in the future events. Well, Daniel, just run a touch more. Oh, he might be unlucky, that might have just sat out. Ball just gone a bit further than Jason would have wanted it. Just seemed to hang out at the last moment. All 4 hands playing very well out there. Oh, I don't think Daniel liked that bowl.
Shot, please.
One green.
Well, again, Daniel's a bit blocked down this hand. He's still playing it, but Jason's bowl is there. Could just come in and promote it. Needs to get inside Jason's bowl, really. Needs to get inside it. I don't think it's going to do down that line. Bit of a messy end from both players. Jason has piled on the pressure over the first 3 ends. It's not always easy to just keep up that pressure, and that's when you have to take advantage. This looks a lot underline and a lot underweight. Now, Daniel, can you take this opportunity? Just needs to get under his own bowl if he's going to play down the backhand, promote his short bowl, or even just get a little sneaky edge off them to sit next to the jack. This looks on a very wide line for me. It's got to be perfect weight for it to come back. Can it make it all the way back? It's having a go. Oh, not enough.
One shot, Daniel Allenin.
Sensible 7-1 after 4 ends.
So Daniel's got himself on the score sheet. Probably needs to think about a change of length here. He He tried short to begin with and then sent his first bowl off, so Jason then went on to score a maximum 4. Oh, and now he's sent his jack off. Well, Bernie's used to playing bowls, so I'm sure she'll be able to send this jack back. Look at that, perfect delivery.
Jack length 26.5 metres.
Looks like a good opening bowl here. Yeah, that's not a bad opener. Still plenty of room for Jason. If you fancy coming down and watching some of the bowls live, don't forget, if you are close to Perth, the next 2 games on tonight feature strong Scottish contingencies. David Gawley MBE plays Kevin Rands and Paul Foster MBE plays Graham McDougall this evening. And tickets are still available for this evening and for tomorrow and the early part of the week. And we're with you right the way through until Friday, when it's the finals day. Jason's a good line again here. Just dropping a little bit short. Probably made 2, yeah. Bernie's just confirmed that. Playing a runner, Daniel here. Is he on target? Yeah, gets 1 away. Now, Jason, can you repeat delivery and slot another in there? Done enough, I think.
1 red and a measure. Last ball is 8 inches short of jack high. Yours? This one? Yeah? 8 inches short of jack high? Yes.
I think, Daniel, you might have to take a time out here. I don't know whether you've got enough seconds to deliver this bowl. Nope, that's the first. I was nearly about to say that we haven't had anybody testing the shot clock today. And then Daniel just did it then. He didn't deliver his bowl before 30 seconds were up, so therefore that becomes a dead bowl. He had plenty of timeouts he could have taken. He's not used a timeout yet. He had every opportunity to take a timeout. It's unfortunate, one of those things. Bernie gave him all the information he required. It's the player's decision to check on their shot clock. Got to keep an eye on it, guys. Got to keep an eye on it. Now Jason's just got to try and make the most of this. He's one, possibly two. If he can just reach the back bowl of Daniel's and sit it down. Now it needs to trundle a little bit further, Jason. I'm not sure that might be in the measure or not. I'm sure the guys will soon tell us. Yeah, Jason's just waving for Dan Blewett, our umpire for this game, to come out and have a look what's happening. Tell us who's closest. One's been removed. The box measure, that's a great shot of the umpire there. Steady hands, Blewett. Doesn't look like it's that red. We might not just be able to see this from the angle. Oh, there we go. Better angle. Thank you, Mr. Director. Might just be the one. Dan will go back to the back green bowl to just check that his measure hasn't moved. No, it hasn't. That's 2 red.
2 shots, Jason Greenslade.
9-1 after 5 ends in this first set.
Set score 9-1 after 5 ends.
The world number 15 certainly got off to a cracking start here in his opening game at the 2019 Scottish International Open. And don't forget, there are a few tickets available. Contact the Jewers Centre here, live active. And if you fancy coming down, it's fantastic to see these players in real life. Good catering facilities here as well. Get yourself a brew. Or an alcoholic beverage, because there's a lovely bar as well. Had somebody, one of the viewers out there, asking for the results from today. Well, if you do want the results, you can go on to worldbowlstour.tv, the website, and pick up all the results there. But first game up this morning, we had Mark Royal versus Dan Lemessurier, the USA qualifier, and Mark Royal came through that 10-5, 9-3. Les Gillett then played Sean Jones, the English qualifier, in a cracking game of bowls, but Les, the seeded player, came through 7-5, 10-4. Nikki Brett played the lady Australian qualifier, Hayley Packer, and won that 13-3, 12-7. And the last game you've just watched was Michael Stepney versus the Canadian qualifier, Josh Cameron, and Michael came through that 9-2, 10-4. So no shocks so far. All the seeds have made it through to the second round. Can Daniel put a shock in the equation against Jason Greenslade? He's got a tough ask in this first set, but don't forget everything goes back to scratch for the second set. So just needs to force Jason to play as many ends as he can in this first set to just get his weight. He's getting his line very well at the moment, but just not his weight.
Red.
Well, we've got some people watching
Your
in
last ball was
Montana,
2.5 feet
USA. Edward Hawkins, nice to have you with us. Nice to hear that there's some people watching all over. Do let us know. It's nice to know. We keep a list at the side. It's nice to know where we get out to with these streams. I had wondered, as we've got an Israeli qualifier out there, if our good friend Zvika Hadar was listening in. If you are, Zvika, it's good wishes we send to you, and I hope you're very well. Just needs to turn now. Might just get the back edge of Daniel's ball and sit it
One
down. Yeah, so it's just one red at the moment. But of course Jason's not having to chase shots. He can just keep plodding away, putting things close, as this set is very quickly slipping away from Daniel. He's played a very tight line here. Probably looking to go for the jack.
One shot, Jason Greenslade.
9 shots lead now for the
Score 10-1 after
world
6
number 15. 3 ends to play.
Jack length 26.5 metres.
Bernie Hill, our marker. It's her first full tournament as a full WBT official. Herself and Neil Bryce were in attendance at the World Championships back in January, and they went through intensive training there and trials, and both were successful and taken onto the board of the WBT umpires, the gang. And this is Bernie's first full tournament. And she gets to have a rest after this game. Get a cup of tea and put your feet up, Bernie. I'm sure she'll be stopping in to watch the next game though. David Gawley versus Kevin Rands. It's one of the highlight games of the first round, as is the last game tonight. Paul Foster, MBE versus Graham McDougall. Graham's shocked the audiences here before when he played. He's played very well here, quite comfortable here. Can he cause a stir tonight against Paul Foster? Well, Daniel's got to count at this end. Well, this looks a better bowl. If Jason picks up a shot here,
One green.
that will be enough for him to take the first set.
Favour one red.
Might have just snuck in there, Jason. Now needs to just correct on his last delivery, Daniel. Just try and beat his own bolt. Even a little touch on the jack would help. Count of 2 here would be very nice for him. He's just overplayed this. Big chance here now for Jason to tie this set up. Favour red does Bernie, so just try and get a closer bowl in, changing to the forehand here. Down a very good track. What's his pace like? Looks decent for pace too. Well, that's a beat. It can be beaten. Daniel
One
just
red,
rest
one
on it. Has to count, as otherwise it's the first set to Jason Greenslade. Wow, what a great bowl that was. Jason's looking on and thinking, perhaps I should have covered the back.
Daniel Allen in.
3 shots to Daniel there, very good shot. Obviously decided to take the chance and run the jack through.
After 7 ends.
Now Daniel, can you keep this jack on? Can you keep this jack on? Or is Bernie going to get another practice at jack sending?
Jack length 29.5.
Just hung on. Everybody looked on with bated breath. What a great start that was. That's what he needs, and he needs more of them. What you need to do at this stage, the seed's running away from you slightly, so just keep plodding. Jason just looking to get a very good second bowl in here.
What's the gap, please, at my ball?
14-inch gap.
Again, like I say, Jason's not really worried about dropping one shot here. So just keep everything in close. Daniel needs at least 2 shots to take us into the final end of this first set. Just keep piling them in close.
One green.
Well, that's not doing the Israeli cause any favours. 2 short bowls. Again, Jason just looking to close this end and this set down now. Won't be too happy with that. He would be looking to just get behind if he could. That's the first set over with. Jason will just use this as a practice bowl down this other hand.
One shot, Daniel Altman. First set, Jason Greenslade.
So the first set goes to the world number 15. Daniel put up a fight towards the end, but I think all the damage was done early on in that set. So what can the Gentleman from Israel doing this second set. Can he
Length 25.5 metres.
win this set and take us to a tie break? Our first one today it would be. We've not had one so far. Well, that's a decent start. It's just slipped through, but still not a bad start. Doesn't want to set off the second set like he did the first set, dropping a 4. Wants to get off the mark early. And Jason Greenslade has set off like he did the first set.
Two red.
And again, if
Three
you
red.
are listening in and you want to put any questions to us or any comments, we don't actually receive that directly into the studio, so I believe there's been a couple of people that have mentioned us in comments. But Daniel's playing another timer here. On target. Oh, nearly got the perfect result then and stopped on the red bowl. Yeah, we don't receive that through to the studio, but our director and production team do. So thank you for all the nice comments. It's nice to know everybody's tuning in. Jason's just gone for a quick 5-mile run, as I did in the previous game, to just get a bit of fresh air.
Two red.
And he'll be joining me again for the next game up.
Timeout called. Jason has 4 timeouts remaining.
It's the first timeout called by Jason Greenslade. I think he's just had a good look at that, knowing what Daniel did with the runner to score a 3 at the 7th end of the first set. He doesn't want that happening again. Is the jack likely to go back, or is it likely to lock on his own bowl? So he's been up to have a good look at what the angles are like. Choosing to go deep with this, split the 3 bowls up. It's a good bowl there. Now Daniel, how are you going to go again? Yeah, timer bowl again. I've got another one away. Just one to Jason.
One shot, Jason Greenslade.
Looks like a good line here. Yeah, finishing well to the centre. Jason won this tournament way back in 2004. Played really well that day, beat David Gawley in the final, which is interesting because the winner of this plays the winner of David Gawley's game next up.
Two red. Three red.
Well, Daniel under all sorts of pressure again here. 3 shots holding against him. Seems to play a good end and then struggle at the next end. Got to be somewhere in the area with this one. Well, can it run? It's run enough to get a second bowl.
One red.
Very kindly kicking Jason's bowl towards the mat there. Under shot clock. Still plenty of time to deliver this bowl from Jason. Looks down a very good track here. Little tuck on the jack, Jason. Well, played that perfectly.
Two red.
Now, Daniel, come and have a look at this, but don't forget your shot clock's ticking down. Jogging back up. He's called a timeout. He does right.
Daniel has 4 timeouts remaining.
He's still got 4 timeouts remaining. There's plenty of time. 60 seconds added to the bag. Well, not sure what he was trying to play there. It's always a question of what you're confident playing.
2 shots. Jason Greenslade.
Set score 3-0 after 2 ends. Jack length
Great start again there from Jason, piling on the pressure. Good attempt there from Daniel.
It is 1 inch away from the jack.
Again, this is a set that Daniel's got to win. So Jason will just be looking to close every end down, make it harder for Daniel to pick up counts. Again, Daniel just looking to change something there, reach up onto Jason's bowl. He was quite a lot wide from his intended target. That red bowl of Jason's does look a bit vulnerable, so wants to slot another in there. We saw a nice shot there that Jason is playing with his Tiger Evos. Has been playing with Tigers recently on the portable, but a lot of the players dropping down to a slightly narrower bias bowl. The Tiger Evos suiting the job for Jason Greenslade. Playing a runner again. Needs the bowl clean, really. Might get it off his own. Oh, he could have been unlucky there. I don't know whether he's just quite stopped in for second shot or not.
Please.
One conceded. Umpire being called to decide on the second bowl.
One red and a measure.
Well, I can't tell. With the ball in there, it was hard to tell.
Yeah, Jason just saying it's hard to tell with the bowls in there which is shot. Sorry, which is second shot. Oh, it looks like green. It's like it's one to Jason.
One shot, Jason Greenslade.
So 4-0 after 3 ends in this second set. Jason Greenslade won the first set 10-5.
Set score 4-0 after 3 ends. Length 25 metres.
Still sticking to that slightly shorter jack. Changing the length by a metre or so. Just overplayed this, Daniel, I think. He's just struggled for the weight. Some ends he's found it, but a lot of the time he's just struggled for the weight. Whereas Jason's been that little bit more consistent overall. Certainly the first few ends of the first set. And he's struck out in this second set and has a 4-0 lead.
One green.
Somebody very appreciative in the crowd there, trying to give Daniel a little bit of support. It's a very lonely place, it's the portable ring, if you're struggling. It's nice to just know that there's a few people urging you to play well. Oh, now Jason's just gone off the boil for an end. So a big chance for Daniel here. Looks down a decent line. Now, have you adjusted your pace? Looks better for pace. That's a good bowl.
Two green.
That's just what he needed. Jason, one bowl to come. Now Jason, can it run on that line? Needs to run. Oh, he's 2 against him here. Big chance for Daniel. Slot another in. Get 3 of the 4 he's behind back. Oh, he's just going to pull up short. That was a big opportunity. But he's picked up 2 shots.
2 shots. Daniel Allen.
Set score 4-2 after 4 ends.
So we move into the 5th end now, Daniel. Can we cast this jack? I think that's what he's just saying to Jason. Bit of a smile. Can I keep this jack on this time? Looks better. 3 metres after the tee. In clubs we play 2 metre jacks, but in these big tournaments, the World Bowls Tour, we play 3 metre jacks. We do also play 3 metre jacks and tees in the qualifiers to get here, in the PBA qualifiers. Does give you that 3 metres from the back of the tee to the ditch. A little bit of a buffer when you deliver a jack. This looks a very wide line from Daniel here. Oh, has he kept this on? No, he hasn't. I spy Kevin Rands there in the green at the opening of the green to your right hand side of your screen. He must be limbering up now for his game. Kevin qualified for the International Open last year at Lincoln. Unfortunately, that tournament didn't go ahead for last season, so he was offered a place in this Scottish International Open, as were all the players that qualified for that event. They've all been offered a place, which is
2 red.
great of the World Bowls Tour, because the qualifiers are so tough to come through. It's nice to get your reward at the end. And Kevin's reward is to face the man that is David Gourley, MBE, coach for Bowls Scotland. Jason's not having to get them particularly close at this end. This wants to trundle a little bit further. Still holding 3. Now Daniel, can you slip past that red bolt? Needs to run. Not made it. Ooh. Big chance for Jason to pick up a 4 here. Just got himself back into this set, Daniel. Only 2 in it. And it's suddenly going to go away from him again. Well, Jason, not taking advantage of the fall, just slipped past. Having a good look at it, it could just be the 3. It looks like it's going to be an umpire measure for the 4th shot. Did just rock back, did the red bowl, so it might not have made it for 4th, but we'll find out shortly. Dan will go back to the first bowl he measured, just make sure that the measure hasn't slipped.
Four shots, Jason Greenslade.
Just scraped in there, the 4th bowl of Jason Greenslade. That gives him an 8-2 lead. 4 ends to play, 6 shots up.
Set score 8-2 after 5 ends. Jack length 25 metres.
Again, just a change from Jason, keeping the mat back this time and playing the short jack. Just keep swapping it about a little bit. Oh, he slipped up there with his lead.
1 red.
Well, again, as mentioned earlier, Jason only needs to close these ends down now. He's got 6-shot lead, 4 ends left to play in a set that Daniel has got to win to take us into a tie-break. This slips past his own ball. It's a very good ball. Well played, Jason.
2 red.
Oh, can he be lucky? Oh, he just didn't get a piece of the jack. Again, Jason will do what he did at that end where he was worried about Daniel running the jack. Just coming up to check if Daniel played a big bowl and got the jack clean, where would it go? Where would he lose a count?
Timeout called.
So you might even find Jason
Jason
here
has 3
going for
timeouts
cover.
remaining.
Chasing back to give himself enough time to play this bowl without having to rush it. Decision, Jason. It'd be very tempting to go for the 3rd shot here. But 2's very good, so covering a count. If he runs between these 2 green bowls here, just get wrecked on the outside bowl. No, it's done it. Just slipped behind. That's a good bowl. Settling for 2 unless Daniel can change something with this bowl. Well, he's played a runner again. Now, Daniel, can you slip past the Jason Greenslade red bowl and get the jack? Oh, he's been a bit unlucky there. Jason's touching bowl went with it.
1 shot, Jason Greenslade.
9-2, 3 ends to play.
Set score 9-2 after 6 ends.
It's quite simple mathematics now. Jason Greenslade scores at this end. The game is over. Daniel has got to score at this end.
Jump length 26.5 metres.
Predominantly played 26.5 metre jacks. Found them normally very well, just dropped short with this one. It's the colder end of the building because the wall they're playing towards has an ice rink behind where they play curling. Fascinating to watch if you do come to the Dewars. Sit in the cafe, have a watch of the curling. It's very, very interesting stuff. They call it bowls on ice. A little bit different tactics, but very, very interesting. Well, he needs to count, and he's holding shot at the moment. Oh, superb reply there from Jason Greenslade. That's all he needs. 1 shot will do him to take his place in the 2nd round. He would play on Tuesday afternoon. I'll be live on the BBC Sport website as well, so several options for you viewers out there to watch the 2nd round games.
1 red and a measure.
Slotting another one in here. Well, Daniel, the gates are getting firmly locked for you here.
3 red.
You might be tempted to play a runner at this, but he's in all sorts of problems. Yeah, forehand runner looking for the jack. Under the line. One bowl left to keep him in the competition. 3 shots against him at the moment. Well, Daniel, Israeli qualifier has this bowl to stay in the tournament here at the Scottish International Open, hosted by Live Active at the Jewish Centre in Perth. What can you do with this, Daniel? Playing a timer again. Now it's 3 shots to Jason Greenslade in the second set, and game's over. So Jason Greenslade moves into the second round, winning the first set 10-5 and the second set 12-2. We still have 2 very exciting games coming up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Do not leave your seats, because the next 2 games are due to be humdingers. We have David Gawley MBE versus Kevin Rands, the English qualifier. And then we have the final game on today, Paul Foster MBE versus Graham McDougall. Well, they'll be out to play their trial ends shortly, so join us after this very short break. Thanks for your company. ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the World Bowls Tours 2019 Scottish International Open, hosted by Live Active at the Jewers Centre here in Perth. And we've got an exciting game lined up for you now, ladies and gentlemen. We have David Gawley, MBE, playing against the English qualifier, Kevin Rans. But there's more games to come tonight. The rest of the evening lines up like this.
So the last game of the evening is Paul Foster, MBE, takes on Graham McDoodle.
We have World Bowls Tour officials out there. And we have your marker is Dan Blewett for this game. The umpire is Francis Fletcher. And on the shot clock we have Mike Davies.
So we're now going to go live ringside to Mr. Richard Madison.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get your next match on the go. And with several national titles to his credit, he came through one of the toughest qualifiers here in the UK at Lincoln. Let's give a warm welcome to Kevin Rand.
It's my life, and it's now or never. 'Cause I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live my life. My heart is like
A former Scottish International Open champion. He's won many, many titles on the tour. He is the head coach for Bowls Scotland, ranked number 4 in the world. Give it up for Scotland's David Gawley, MBE.
Well, thank you very much, Richard, and good evening. Welcome back to the stream, ladies and gentlemen, here for the World Bowls Tour and the 2019 Scottish International here in Perth.
Well, I think we've got a great game on the cards here, Jason. Two cracking players. Kevin Rans came through a really strong field at Lincoln to win the International Open qualifier last year. And of course, because the International Open didn't run, he got offered a place in the Scottish International Open and snapped it up immediately.
Yeah, that's right, Janice, and I think it's only fair, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was saying to the viewers in the previous game, Jason, if they qualify and they've gone all that way and won all those games, they deserve a right to be out there on the portable rink. Kevin's actually also qualified for the World Pairs playoffs in January, the playoffs for England, with his pairs partner, Wayne Wilgress.
Oh, big Wayne, yep.
Who features in our games tomorrow morning, and that is a great opener. Now, this man on the mat, well, what hasn't he won? His player profile here is a bit like a book. It's been a few years since he won this title, though. It's way back to page 3, 2002. He won this one.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Kevin is used to playing on a quick surface. He plays out of the Lincoln Bowling Club. And I'm sure the likes of Billy Jackson and Danny Brown will be tuning in to watch their fellow club mates playing. And I'm pretty sure out in Sitges, David's partner, Stephen, will have the telly tuned in to watch. So shout out to Stephen. I think it might be a little bit warmer out in Sitges than it is over here.
I can vouch for that, Janice. Yes, I was out there all last week. And it was quite a warm 24, 25, which I believe is just slightly warmer than normal for that type of year. But had a great few days out there, nice and relaxed.
Yeah, it's a lovely part of the world. It's a lovely part of the world. So now David, he doesn't play as much as he used to do because he lives out in Sitges. So he does concentrate when he comes to these events, and he puts a lot of practice in beforehand.
Normally arrives before the green.
Quite often does. Didn't do this time, but
It's only my fault.
He's normally one of the first out there to practice.
Well, Kevin's certainly got off to a decent start here. In for a safe 2.
Looks like it's 2, yeah, definitely 2. David was just asking our marker Dan Blewett if that was 1 or 2 shots.
Attacking early.
Forehand runner. in the area. Oh, just on the outside, got his own ball away.
Just stuck away a little bit, didn't it, on that forehand? Just
Yeah,
at the end.
I noticed earlier somebody else played a runner and it just hung off on the forehand. It'll be settling in now, the portable rink, and it does change as the week goes on. Clicking his fingers at that, Kevin. First time he'll have played under the shot clock and on the portable rink, so very confident player, Kevin Rans.
Well, he's gone for best back. Saying to David, if you want to hit it, go ahead.
Gone again. Not sure David likes that.
Dipping quick. 1-2.
Oh, right through the gap. That's a great start for the qualifier from the Lincoln Bowls Club.
First end 0-2.
Yeah, you need to get on the card as quick as you can. Short sets, just 2 sets, obviously the 9 ends, so don't want to get on the back foot, especially when you qualifier against these guys. Get in early, find yourself a decent length, scratch away.
Yeah, got a good chance. Like I say, confident player. He's done well in the qualifiers over the years. Eventually managed to scrape through and win one. So just needs to make the most of it now. I know his pairs partner and good friend Wayne Wilgress is watching on from the balcony. And we mustn't forget, in a game that involves a Scottish player, we have to give a shout out to Brian Arley, one of the top Scottish umpires. It's his 50th birthday today, so many happy returns, Brian. I do hope you're enjoying watching the bowls.
Little whiskey in hand, I'm sure.
Very possibly. Good character, Brian.
So, chance now for David with his first bowl. Kevin's left him 5 feet of room.
And Kevin's certainly watching this. Plays a lot of golf now. He's been telling me about how many steps he's been doing a day and all the golf he plays. He's lost a lot of weight, as Kevin. Got himself a lot fitter. And one of his hobbies is making cakes. He's a very good baker.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Your next year's bake-off.
He has applied, I believe, in the past to go
really?
on it. So certainly some of his creations that you see are quite impressive. So it's perhaps a good job he does all this walking now to wear off the calories.
Now I just need to get back to centre. Just not going to make it. So just the one.
Don't forget, if you are tuning in and you want to let us know where you're tuning in from, we don't actually get the feed for the messaging through to the studio itself, but our director and producers do, and let us know where you're viewing from, which is always interesting to hear.
Well, David's got at least 2 seconds there now. Gives him an option. Kevin will be aware of that, looking to make this ball count.
Oh, now he has flicked that bowl closer. Has it come into the count?
Close for second now, David.
Bit fortunate that, Janice, because some brilliant.
The ball came across. Close for second.
Who'd you favour?
comfortably the green.
Playing the runner for the two green balls.
Chance, the jack's good as well. On target. Done enough.
Yep, that's the shot.
Familiar forehand runner from David Gawley.
Very effective.
On his MBE for services to bowls. He's the Bowls Scotland coach. Very, very successful at the Commonwealth Games. Coach of the Year awards, and I believe he's into for Sports Scotland Coach of the Year award as well. And that is something, if that goes to a bowling coach.
Yep, it's massive.
So, David Gawley off the mark.
Jack length 27.5 metres.
Well, a couple of feet through with that. Jack 27.5 metres.
Here's a better one. Nice touch on the jack. Just skirted past, but it's in.
Well, a bit short there from Kevin. So it's a measure for shot. David just needs a slight adjustment on his last. Needs to just run a touch.
Yep, just managed to skirt in. 14 inches is the one to beat.
Good line here from Kevin. Can it make the length as well? Can it sit now? Needs to sit. Oh, they just keep running, Jason.
Seems to go a lot further than I thought, but still one red.
14-inch gap.
I think it must be the short bowl that's holding shot.
Definitely. So looking to improve on this. Wants to stop. Nice and solid on the green bowl. Oh, just an edge.
Now, if he just repeats delivery and sits on his own last bowl, he'll get shot.
Yeah, a foot anywhere around the jack will count.
Pure look of concentration there on Kevin Rand's face.
This is quick.
One shot, David Twiller.
Set score 2-2 after 3 ends.
Well, both of the players involved in performance. Kevin Rance actually works for the local government and is a performance officer. And of course, as we mentioned, David Gull is the head coach for Bowls Scotland. Some great bowls sent so far here at the Scottish International Open. And if you do want to come down, there's still a few tickets available here at the Jewess Centre.
That's right, 6 games tomorrow for you. Just £6 for the whole day. Come and see some of the best players in the world from all around the world.
Better opener here from David.
Line's good.
Doesn't look bad for pace either. I just wonder if the pace has changed over the day, Jason. It's been quite a long day's play, and I've seen 1 or 2 balls just pulling up, and I've kind of expected them to run through, and then when they get past the tee, they seem to be running out.
Yeah, you normally find that, I think, on most bowling greens, Janice, don't you? As obviously temperatures just starting to drop now outside, and it does just change just ever so slightly, but sometimes just that 2 feet to a yard can just throw you a little bit sometimes.
Well, especially because he only got the 2 trial ends. David did have about half an hour at lunchtime. I didn't see Kevin at lunchtime. I think he must have played this morning. Chose to keep away from the centre to just concentrate on his own performance this evening.
Just needs to miss, all nice and solid. That's enough.
1 green. This one here, it's 11 inches short of jack high.
So either just between the 2 green bowls or just round the 2 green bowls.
Needs to be a decent length here.
Coming back now, here we go.
If it sits down, it's got a chance. That's probably made second.
Yes.
1 green.
Kevin was asking that question before the ball had come to rest. Just overplayed this. Change of hand, change of pace, they say.
I'm not sure whether that was on purpose or not, that, you know, is 2 deep red bowls.
Tighter line.
I think he's trying to play just slightly up and between the 2 green bowls. It depends if he's got the pace to carry the line.
I don't think he has. Just under. Right line for what he wanted.
Yeah, you can see that. You can just get just underneath that wide green bowl down to the jack. Makes a good 3. Not easy. Kevin will just play a 4-hand draw here, try and land on the nearest red bowl of David Gaulet's. Make a double.
A decent track. Just overplayed it.
One shot, Kevin Rance.
Nip and tuck here so far. I mean, when the draw came out really for the Scottish, it was one of the
Set score 2-3 after 4 ends.
games on the cards that you thought could be an upset. Very consistent player, Kevin. I'm sure Billy Jackson, former world champion, will be screaming down the TV at me for saying he's consistent. Because I know Billy would say he taught him everything he knows.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes,
Right.
oh, definitely.
Jack length 29 metres.
Billy trying to qualify in Lincoln earlier on in the year. He's still playing in the qualifiers, got his taste for bowls back and wants to get back in the top 16. Didn't just manage to qualify but played very well.
Jack, not 27.
It's down a good line here, David. What's the weight like?
Yep, it's a good one.
Good enough.
Well played. Again, just pushing through.
I think if the surface is that quick, you're always frightened to just pull up too short, so to make sure you reach. And then you can just overplay it. The danger now for Kevin is...
David adding the pressure, I think.
Yeah, and Kevin pulling up short when he over adjusts. And I think David is putting the pressure on here.
Doesn't want to bring the jack out in the open, but that'll be enough. Player plays two bad balls, you'll try and make them pay for it. Apply that extra pressure all the time.
I think he's running with this as well.
Yep. So, chance to make a three. Needs to just get up now.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, having played two good bowls.
Yes, I think he will. I don't think that's counting. I think it's just a two. Three. Well, that's a bonus.
Well, our camera angle doesn't look like there was one in the game previous that was in that direction, and it didn't look what the marker called. And of course, Dan Blewett's only given his opinion, but he is a very good judge. I trust his eyesight before mine.
Yeah, looking that, it didn't look like it made it at all. Now.
So, Kevin, well.
It's just going to miss.
Oh, he's going to keep running as well.
Don't think there's any change, David, no.
No, so 3 red.
Big chance for a four. Big chance for a four. David Gawley needs to take that chance when he's got it. Doesn't like it.
Just too quick.
Overplayed it.
Does he land on the green bowl and come back? He'll be disappointed with that one. Kevin, have a quick look. 2 conceded.
Don't be frightened of having it measured, Kevin. No, it's his first time out there. You don't want to be frightened of having it measured. Francis Fletcher, the umpire for this game, called out to tell us the situation. It's definitely 2 shots to red. Is it 3? Or do we add it to the pick on the list for Dan Blewett tonight?
No, I think it's an easy 3.
3 shots, David Gawley.
That's quite a big swing in this first set, Jason, at this stage.
Certainly is. Yeah, just struggled at that length.
5-3 after 5 ends. 28 metres.
Just 2 feet short. Shake of the head there from David.
Not happy with that one at all. Now, Kevin, can you make the adjustment? Slip either side of David Gawley's bowl. Either side will do, yeah.
Well, half
Wiggled
and half.
in. David choosing to change to the forehand.
It's 6. I'm not Jacob either, he sat next to you.
Good shot there from David. Change to the forehand.
Your bowl, David's bowl, is just over 2 feet short.
Well, Kevin, rest on the red bowl. What a great bowl
That's
that
a
was.
cracking bowl.
Both changed to the forehand there. Got it nicely.
2 inches.
It's going to be nip and tuck all the way, this, I feel.
I think so. This could be 1-2 go to a tie break. Needs to run, David.
Two seconds.
Yeah, I think this isn't a bad plan of Kevin's going deep because, like you say, there's 2 seconds at least there for David. He's not got a clean draw to it unless it'll just get down the backhand. Just wondering if it'll go out clean, Jason, if he runs at it. It looks from our angle like it'd get a piece of his back bowl.
Yeah, as long as it just gets the back bowl, he's still going to get the shot, Janice, I think. I think there's a possibility of maybe just getting it clean, but it'll have to be very, very thin. Bounce on the jack, maybe. Depends on where that goes. He's just looking at that now. If he gets solid on the jack. If he gets solid on the jack and a piece of the green bowl, and then the jack gets respotted, that could give him maybe a 2, but it'll leave Kevin a bit of room to draw. Sometimes you've just got to take your chance. Because it's a very, very hard draw anyway.
Going for it. All out drive for David here.
Nice and thin. Just didn't get to the jack.
Great effort. Oh, Kevin, there is a route through off the backhand here. Just needs to get past the red bowl of David Gawley's. His own bowl on the wing is a good viewer for a length bowl. Can it run?
It's not far away,
Can
I
it
don't think.
run?
Cracking bowl.
Done enough. What a great
Cracking
bowl
bowl.
there. Well,
Kevin Round.
all squared up again. 5-all.
Set score 5-5 after 6 ends.
5-5 after 6 ends. Well, this set's anyone's.
It is. It's the closest score we've had so far today. Kevin looks fairly relaxed out there.
Yep. Both players have won 3 ends, scored 5 shots. Shows how close this is.
Jack length 27 metres.
I don't think either of these players are going to worry the shot clock. I think Dave is experienced enough to take his timeouts, and Kevin's watched a lot of bowls, so knows from experience of watching others about the shot clock. Of course, we had a bowl removed in the last game. Daniel Alanim neglected his timing and lost the bowl. That certainly woke everybody up when the siren went off, Jason.
Yeah, it's certainly very loud.
David, can it slip past?
Yeah,
Done
just
enough, got a wiggle.
Decent length.
5 inches.
Done a good track again, Kevin. Might have just over.
Just push through.
Yeah, just overed. That's the problem when you're just that bit short. You're frightened of being short again, so you just push through. Just overplay it. Big chance for David to slot another shot in.
Red.
So, that's a chance now. Just drop a little bit of pace. The line was very good. Is he making the trip?
Well, that's the problem when you've played through. We've noticed that with a lot of the qualifiers. If they have a bad end, they have a really bad end. We all do it. Taking his time here, David, because what he doesn't want to do is put a wing bowl for Kevin to play up to.
That's right, Janice.
Something to finish centre is ideal.
Front touch will be perfect. Is he going to run?
It's got another little wiggle off those front bowls.
Probably just a foot short in pace, but yeah, he's apologised, you can see.
Kevin has 4 timeouts.
It was in the area, to be fair.
It was fortunate, really, but like you say, it was in the area.
This is a big end now, a big bowl here for Kevin. He doesn't want to drop 3 now.
Well, how many times do we say that the 7th end is a crucial end?
Possible. That's because I forgot to put it back on. So, spare shot, an important spare shot, wants to make this count.
Looks down that tighter line again.
Don't think he's here, Janice.
No, he's not going to get his wiggle this time.
3 shots. David Gourlay.
So that's twice where he's counted a 3 where he could have actually got a 4.
Score 8-5 after 7 ends.
That's
So
correct.
he will be kicking himself for that. But 8-5, 3 shots up, 2 ends to play. World number 4, David Gourlay.
Yeah, it's an important spare, I think, that one, because had he have made that, then all he needed to do was just count. But he's not happy with his jack cast neither. I think it's just gone back to the tee where I don't think he wanted it there. Yeah, it's gone further than he wanted. It stayed on.
Jack length 29 metres.
Right, good opener.
This will be an interesting end because 29 metres is just half a metre short of as far as they can go. So They'll have all practiced that sort of length.
That's correct, Janice. Good start. Very good start. Just a foot short.
Tying his shoelaces there, David. Is that the proverbial way of pulling your socks up? He's known before he went out there that he had a really tough game on his hands. We spoke about it yesterday.
Good reply.
Yes.
Just looking just to arrive onto that bowl, get to the jack. Got a little wiggle off his own front bowl available. Just about being in the area with good pace. Like
Needs
this.
to reach on this line. Needs to reach.
Here
Can he
it
get
comes.
solid.
Perfect.
Well played.
The gap for the shot lovely. Just over 12 inches.
Kevin's gone out on a really wide line here. We have said that the forehands do swing, but
It's coming.
is it going to make this back? It's doing well for him.
Just
a
the
bit
pace.
short, yeah.
Yeah. The line was very good. That doesn't make it any easier.
David will swap to the forehand. Yeah, I'm swapping to the forehand now. This looks on a good line.
Wants to miss this green bowl.
I don't think it can. Oh, it got another wiggle. We're going to have to rename his nickname as to David Wiggle Gourlay. Sometimes, as long as you're the right pace, and you're
Yes.
in the area, those sorts of things can happen.
It's just strange, the game, Janice, because on other days you'd run back into the back of it flat.
Exactly.
You know, it's just one of those things.
It's how good you look on the day sometimes, especially with these shortened games. A little bit of luck.
Well, as it stands, David Gourlay is actually lying the first set here with that pair. 2 puts him out of reach. Yeah. Back to the backhand. It's on a decent line. Just reaching round the back. He comes right the way around the back now.
It's not a bad ball. I think he wanted it to come more back to behind the
Centre,
jack, yeah. It's virtually on, just come back to the centre of the green.
Well, Kevin Rans has one ball left just to save this. Playing positive down the forehand, looking for either of the bowls or the jack. Now, how's his
How
luck?
lucky is he?
No, just not lucky enough. So it's David Gourlay that takes a 2 here
First set, David Gourlay.
and wins the first set here, 10 shots to 5.
Well, that score certainly doesn't justify how well Kevin's actually played in that game.
No, I think you're right there, Janice. You know, it was very, very close. Just that rogue 3 there near the end. But yeah, I agree with you there. I just don't think that does reflect the game. But that's bowls, you know what I mean? We start again, like we always say. 0-0.
Yeah, and Kevin Rans has played enough tie breaks in his time in the PBAs, so that's what he's got to aim for now. Take David Gourlay into a tie break.
Yeah, that's right. Like you said, it was just those 2 3s. You know, he played
And
very well.
weirdly enough, they could have both been 4s.
Yes, they could. Yeah, it's
Just 2 loose ends from Kevin, really. There.
that's all it was. 2 loose ends out of 8, and you get punished. But we reset the clock. We go again. Not seen a tie break yet. I expected to see a tie break today, to be honest.
No, and yet last year, day one, we had several tie breaks, and it can happen like that. You can go several days without a tie break, and then they all seem to
Come
appear
together.
at once, just like they say buses do. You know, everything appears at once.
Don't forget the winner of this game will face Jason Greenslade on Tuesday. 2 o'clock start.
Yes, and various options to watch those games during the week in the afternoons. We will also be live on the BBC Sport website. It's nice to have the BBC involved.
Certainly is.
A lot of things now are going out to streaming, and a lot of sports have swapped to streaming, so good to be able to take bowls into their website.
Yeah, it's all about the quality of the vision, I think. You know, streaming is getting better and better and better in most sports, you know.
It is. At the World Bowls Tour, we always try and improve things every year for the viewers. And certainly while we're streaming over this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, if you've got any questions, do bob them to our production team. They'll get them to us and we'll try and get them answered for you if we don't know the answers ourselves. And it's always good to hear where you're viewing from. David's going again here.
Bowls are jack, clean jack.
Halve the jack. We'll go on the respot there. Toucher in the ditch. Our marker Dan will go and mark the toucher first, and Francis, the umpire, will pass down the jack to respot it. It's all done in a certain order because the shot clock does not start again until the marker is happy that everything is in its right place.
That's
Well, needs to go a little bit further. Good efforts. It's hard to get out to these respots. Just asking Kevin to move. Oh. Kevin just getting out of the way there. Now.
Well, he's watching this. All about pace now.
Needs to just slow
Just
down.
to
I
stop.
think it's very quick.
Needs to stop.
Don't know whether it's saved second or not. We have had a question in from the viewers about which bowls they're playing with, from a Kath McGee. Thanks for your question, Kath. And the answer to your question is that Kevin Rands is playing with Tiger Evos and David Gawley is playing with Taylor Ace. Normally plays with Taylor International on the portable rink, but felt it was just a little bit too quick for his internationals. So he's been playing with his Taylor Ace.
Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Kathy. Thank you very much.
Just the one there. David's got away with that. That looked to have run through. So Kevin off to a good start at this first end of the second set, picking up a shot. David Gawley took the first set 10-5. If you can't stay with us this evening, don't forget you can pick up all the news and results on worldbowlstour.tv website. But hopefully you'll be able to stay pinned to your seats, because the game on after this one is Paul Foster MBE versus Graham McDougall. Another exciting game on the cards. Jason, we're not moving from these seats, are we?
Do we have a choice? No, it's going to be a cracking game for the last one. So it's hard when you're hanging around all day. Obviously, you don't get a definite start time, so
No, and
you're
then you
having to
only get the
judge.
two ends, trial ends, so it's whoever gets out of the blocks first, really. Gets the weight of the surface first.
Well, just pulling up short again a little bit. On to David. He'll just play again. Just try and miss his own bowl.
Just pulled up short as well. It is going cold in the arena now. We're up in the gallery here, and it's certainly gone cooler up here. Pace might change. Pace can change so quickly out there as well on the portable, literally within an end. Don't think that's making the trip either.
No. Yeah, it's part of the game, Janice, isn't it? Indoors and outdoors. You know, it's who adapts first a lot of the time, and that's
all
where
about adjusting.
Yeah, that's where experience just comes in. Definitely further.
Definitely further. Is it too far? It needs to put its brakes on now.
Close, I don't think so, it's just the one.
So a bit of a scrappy end. Just one to David, we think.
It's very hard, is this, because it's all about just getting a length bowl, but you've
There's
got
obstacles.
to drift past. There's bowls on either hand that you've got to just drift past.
It's just too far.
Can it get an edge off David's back bowl? No, it might even sit it in. That could have sat it in.
How close are the two in your favour, David?
Now, can he take the spare at this end? Missed out a couple of times. This just
Quick.
needs to ease up.
No one really nailed a length there. The first bowler, Davies, was the best. Now, has he turned him in for two? I think so.
David, your line.
Set score 2-1 after 2 ends. Jack length 29 metres.
T.
It's one of the top 16 that always asks if it has arrived at the tee. It does make that slight different adjustment needed for the line to make it back to the tee.
Good starter.
Last year's Scottish International Open, David Gawley beat Zvika Hadar in the first game, the Israeli, but then lost out to Les Gillett in round 2 on a tie-break. It was a great game of bowls, but Les just snuck through on the tie-break. Previous year, David had won both the Scottish International Open and the International Open.
Had a good year. So, adjustment needed here. 5 feet off his last. Well played. Very good adjustment.
Very small gap.
Push through.
Yeah, played that reaching bowl to try and get to the jack, but just played it a touch too wide, I think.
A bit quick, I think.
I think it was a bit of both, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, I
to
don't think he
be
needed that
honest.
much pace, yeah. So, Kevin looking to make a 2. Doesn't want to land on the back of his own too quick. Doesn't want to land on this ball too quick. Ooh.
Oh, he was lucky it just dipped at the end.
Yeah, if he hit that solid, he's probably giving that away, I think. Little touch of the green one first. Just the wrong side of it. Chance now for Kevin. 18 inches anywhere. Gets
Yes,
3.
now can he take his spare opportunity? So his last delivery. Well, needs to start turning. Well,
2 shots, heading back.
they're both doing it now.
Set score 2-3 after 3 ends.
So Nippon took again second set. It was just the 2 threes in the first set that made the difference to David Gawley's score.
Yeah, it's a bit scrappy at the moment, I think is fair. I don't think they'll mind me saying that.
Well, Kevin's brought the mat up. Just to try a change of length.
Jack length 26.5 metres.
Just noticed on Kevin's player profile it actually does mention that he plays off a 12 handicap at golf. He certainly enjoys his golf now.
Blames the bowls club for having to bake more. Obviously must be in demand.
I think it's all the pictures he keeps putting on Facebook of the creations he makes
Oh,
that
is that
doesn't
what it
help.
is?
Yeah. That's a good reply from David there.
Again, overcorrected. So, chance.
7 inches.
Big differences there. 2 metres difference.
Yeah, that's what's happened in the first set when he went walkabout, as we would say, and just let David plod away. David can get another bowl in here, and it looks decent. He's just pulling up. It was a good line.
Enough to count, but I don't think they will count at the end, that one. So, that's why you get 4, Janice.
So they say you're supposed to be able to get your first one in close. I'm not sure whether that's totally true or not. Now, Kevin. great track. What's your pace like? Has it made? No, just sat out, I think.
Yeah.
David will have to swap now to the forehand.
Yes, he will.
I think there's just a bit of movement in the crowd.
Yeah, down the forehand, either side of his own. Underneath his own gets to the green ball. It's all about good weight.
Again, the shot clock operator just stopped the clock there for David. It wasn't his problem that somebody was just moving in the crowd.
Doesn't want to touch the jack.
Well, it's not in a bad home there, just gone. Just gone from the count though.
Short of jack high. Yes.
I think he played to try and reach onto his own bowl to turn it there, and that sort of shots, you better just try and play the draw and hope it slips past your own bowl, really.
Yeah, be a very slight adjustment now with this one. If he does get to his own short bowl, he only needs to just turn it that once. Probably just move the jack enough to make a 3. But the plan A will be just to draw the shot. That will be a bonus.
In the area. In the area with this.
That's enough.
That's a great bowl.
Two shots. David good.
Advantage goes back to red.
Yes, it's certainly nip and tuck.
Set score 4-3 after 4 ends.
4-3. David keeping the jack, or the mat back rather, so it looks like he might be going.
Your pretty patterns appearing again.
Yeah, I did notice that. They've been winning to each other's jacks. Just not quite as far as last time.
28 meters.
Should just throw the jack off and get Kevin to play the jack.
About 2 feet up. Okay.
So just short of the tee. So his bowl's finished roughly where the jack's been finishing.
Yeah, I think he did want the jack on the tee there. I was surprised really, because he's got that 3 metres behind the tee to keep the jack on if he wanted to go to the tee.
Just needs to get up. Yes, that's enough.
Okay.
Not wasting any time on the mat, ready to go.
Just overreached. He'd probably be thinking to himself, if he got a piece of the jack as well, it would have been perfect, so that tends to make you overreach.
It's on its way. Has he got the legs to carry it? Now, Kevin, what's the pace like? On a very good line. That's the shot.
game for David there. Good ball from Kevin though. Good adjustment from his last. Now this looks down a decent line. All on his pace here. Done enough. Great ball.
Should be just enough.
I don't think David was so happy with that. I thought it...
Time out. One red.
the only danger here is if Kevin plays David's out and just gets a little nudge on the jack.
Yeah, 4-3 with a set behind. I don't think he wants to do anything too stupid.
No, he can just play just over the draw.
Just
on
underneath
the
it.
forehand there.
Play on the forehand just underneath it.
Going quicker. Surprises me, but if you can take the bowl clean.
Got the jack. Oh, he's got David's bowl as well. Now, where is David's bowl going? It's gone off the green. That's a big result.
Huge result.
Nearly made a 3 or a 4 out of that.
Two declared. Long tapes, everything being called. Two certainly been taken out. That was a big result there.
It was a great shot, you know, hit
To
the
get the
target.
piece of David's bowl as well.
Yeah, that was a fortunate bit of it, but you know.
Ball with him, David Hill.
Here come the long strings. All depends on angles and depth. Obviously the jack's sat below the playing surface. So the straighter on your bowl is. Oh. Oh, 2 then.
2 shots, Kevin Rapp.
That's not too bad, I don't think.
I think it was a very good result, really, and it was a very good result for David because that could have been a lot worse.
Set score 4-5 after 5 ends.
Heard a shout of good ball from the gallery from Kevin's world pairs partner Wayne Wilgress. And it looks certainly from our angle that it could have been 3 or 4, but 2 shots. Keeps everything really tight after 5 ends in this second set. Don't forget David Gawley won the first set, so Kevin Rans has got to win this set to take us into a tie break. A tie would do for David Gawley to step into the second round.
Good opening bowl.
Great opening bowl there.
Yeah, sometimes when you sat quite away, Janice, I kind of look for the player's body language as well.
Yeah, that's the one thing we can see nicely from this this venue's commentary position. You can see the players. Kevin looks fairly confident still out there. He's not... he's looked in control of his emotions, certainly. Here again, just pulling up. Now David, something close.
All about his pace. Little connection and run with it. Oh, he's just fell away.
Is it the front or back one?
Just saying that word back bowl counts means that Kevin can, in his sighting, think, well, if he can reach the red bowl of David Gawley's, he'll surely get another That's what he's gone for. He's very close as well.
Played it very well.
Well played.
It's a great ball.
Well, David's got either green ball to sit off now. Swap into his forehand. Swinging back to that green ball is what he's after. Now, is this making the trip?
He's urging it on.
Is it making the trip?
Oh, what a ball that is.
What a ball under that pressure.
Great header bowls.
It's probably the best header bowls we've seen so far today in general terms, Jason.
One red.
Kevin has 2 timeouts remaining. The front ball.
I'm just confirming so that you can picture this shot.
Well, attacking down the forehand.
Now.
Looking at getting into this split will be quite good. Back onto the jack.
Oh, just outside it. Played it with the right sort of weight. I don't know whether David will play his last bowl or not.
I think you just take that one. Yeah.
Got that pattern of winning to each other's jacks again.
Yeah.
Set score 5-5 after 6 ends.
Exciting stuff now. 3 ends left to play.
Jack length 29 metres.
Just dropping slightly short, just a couple of feet. Well, Kevin slightly further. This is the shot.
Looks very close here. All on pace. Done it again. Found the ball when he needed it. Urging this on. Something wrong with this, Kevin.
Yeah, he's left this one.
Four inches on yours.
He can just draw again, just on the inside of his old short bowl. Gets back to the shot bowl.
Slip round his own now.
It's not finished bad.
that was a good attempt from Kevin. Just tried to play that neat shot, which isn't easy to play out there.
No, that's right, Janice. It was a very good pace, just nipped the line. Jack slightly off centre. David will go again, just try and get just inside it.
Well, it looks on a good line. Now it needs to start finishing now.
So he needs to get inside that.
I think this one's going to go right to the wire, Jason.
Yes, this is nip and tuck all the way this set. Kevin will play the forehand, very similar, slightly wider line or a little bit, just a bit quicker. Try and get to the jack. Turn the jack round the corner. Overplayed it, just too quick.
Set score 6-5 after 7 ends.
Well, this next end really is a crucial end for both players. Kevin needs to win it. Really to give him some momentum going into the last end of the second set. And if David Gawley wins it, it means that Kevin has to pick up a count on the last end. So all very tight here. Don't forget, this is a set that Kevin Rans has got to win to take us into a tie-break.
Yeah, that's right. David will try and put as big a gap as he can between the two players. Kevin scores a 1 or a 2. The last end will be played as a tie-break.
Not a bad opener. Touch on the tight side, but not a bad opener. Good reply here from Kevin. He's certainly done himself credit so far in this game. David Gawley's certainly known he's been in the game.
He has had to fight for it. Just slipping by.
Only just. Good effort. Now, Kevin.
1 inch.
Well, we've had one shot clock failing today. One player's lost a ball through the shot clock, but we haven't had a tie break.
Audience love a tie break. Players not so much. Another good ball.
Yeah.
Slip pass. Oh, he's just made a bit of a target.
Yeah, will David go for this?
You can see there, look. He would have just slipped just past that last ball. It would have been a lot safer.
Forehand. Going quicker.
Bowls a jack.
Now, what's body language saying? Oh. Oh, this could be a huge end for David, this. And a huge end for Kevin if he can count. And go in the lead again.
Yes, if Kevin counts 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter, it's the same result. David just needs to score. If he gets a 3 or a 4, that's where the difference becomes.
It's not as easy for David to take both those bowls out now with a runner either, so I think Kevin's just running for cover with this one. If David misses again, Kevin's got a chance for 3.
Target isn't as good for David.
No, it certainly isn't now.
If this was the last bowl of the end, it won't make any difference. He'd probably just go for the bowls. I think what he's looking and thinking about that, if he does go again and misses the target, Kevin's got that chance just to add the 3rd, which is important. because then obviously it gives him the gap. That's what we're thinking of. Or if David plays a good bowl, even whether he gets a good third or second.
He's really
Safer.
after second bowl at least here.
He just wants to make it as hard as possible for Kevin to get the third bowl.
Now, gone for the draw to try and rest on the bowls of Kevin Rans. Now, what's his pace like, Jason?
Needs to run. Just nip the line. Sit back.
Pace wasn't bad, really.
Well, it's closed it up. 6 inches less now. This is a big bowl, this, Janice.
It is indeed. If he can counter 3, it means that David's got to score a couple on the last end to tie the set. I tell you what, he's done a very good track again.
Doesn't want to hit this jack. Doesn't want to hit this jack.
Might just be the 2.
It's a good bowl.
Well, the umpire's been called. Dan Blue at the marker says he favours David. Does look very tight out there. This is a huge measure, this.
They normally go to the one they favour first as well with the measure, if you
Well,
noticed.
Dan did say he favoured the red bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big gap there. He was very unlucky, I think, there, Kevin. He played a very good bowl, but...
He risked it, really.
Yeah, I could see coming down the green, he was just heading for the jack. But, you know, one end shootout for the second set.
Tie-break end to go into a tie-break or to take the match. Simple as that. David Gawley wins this end. It's all over. Kevin Rans wins this end, and we go into our first tie-break here at the Scottish International Open 2019.
Jack length 27.5 metres.
What scores have you got, guys? Everyone's looking at the scoreboard.
Well, a little bit of a loose opening bowl there from Kevin. Can David make the adjustment? Looks down a decent track. Really wants to get this in close.
Just needs to run.
You can tell the crowd appreciate that it's getting very, very edgy now. When it could get to a tie break, everybody goes quiet. Well, Kevin, down a good track. Length required with this. This looks very good. This looks very good. Well played, Kevin. That's the one for David to beat.
Advantage green.
6 inches past jack high.
2 feet on his last.
Is he reaching?
He's trotting up after it.
On green.
Well, he's in for 2.
I think David's got to change to his forehand
Yes.
here.
Yes, I think so,
I
Janice.
thought he might have done with his last bowl actually, but I think he just fancied correcting on his first.
Yeah, sometimes you're better off just staying with the hand that you're confident in.
Yeah.
Just draw to the jack. Let's have a look.
2 shots against him at the moment.
Yes, down the forehand, just looking to get to Kevin's bowl. Electing to play the runner.
I've got a hold on that line. Monster Jack really on that line.
Oh, well played.
David Gawley.
Well played, David.
It's gone virtually into the ditch with the jack. That
So
was a great under pressure bowl from the man that's the head coach for the Scotland elite team.
So
Not much more he can do now.
now Kevin's got to get within a foot of this. So you can see there on the camera, it's probably 18 inches away in the ditch, but that leaves roughly about a foot to draw. Well, Kevin, just needs to ease up. It's gone too far. It's gone.
Oh,
It's all over.
What a great game of bowls. Certainly David Gawley knows he's been under the cosh there from Kevin Rands from Lincoln. What a great first display on the portable rink from Kevin, and a fantastic game of bowls. David Gawley wins it 10-5, 7-7. We still have another game to come, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up, the last game.
Yep, one more game to go, and it's going to be an absolute cracker. Paul Foster faces Graham McDougall. If you want to see it, join us in 5 minutes.